It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Fade that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Ask you something.
What are we doing?
I said, can I ask you something? Ain't I'm clean?
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch.
Fuck up. Move the fuck back. Back the fuck up.
Joe Beach. He looked down, seen the feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
Flag cause he wiped up Future's motherfucking ex-hoe. Flag cause he wiped up Future's motherfucking ex-hoe.
Oh. All right, I guess I'll come in right there. That seems like a good place to come in and let you know I'm drinking beer. It's 3 o'clock my time. My lady is going to pick water up. We don't have nothing to drink in this motherfucker, so I'm gonna drink a beer while I talk. So pop them if you got them. As you know, I am a workout person. I like working out. I like getting in shape. I like staying in shape. And today, the pickleball king The pickleball guy definitely pickleball today. Yesterday I went back out. Oh, I should have brought him in here. I went back out to the Mall of America. I bought a pair of 501s for like 14 bucks. Brand new 501s. They look like they had a little bit of paint on it, like somebody sprinkled some paint on them and shit. 14 bucks. Normally, what, $80 jeans? So my daughter had baton. My daughter twirls baton. So my daughter had baton. Where she has baton is not far from the outlets and it's not far from the Mall of America. Actually, it's like 10-minute drive. I left way too early. It's like, damn, I got over here already. But anyway, it's like a 10-minute drive. And so went to the Mall of America yesterday. Let me see if I don't know if it quite let me pull it up. But yesterday I did over 1,300 steps. Because I only played 3 games of pickleball, as I said, but I end up with 6 miles. Let me see. I might be able to pull this up. Let me see. See if I could get yesterday. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I got 1,508 steps. 15,805 steps. It was like 6 miles. Now today I played pickleball for roughly 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours of pickleball. I got my heart range was up from, where's this? Variability. I don't think it went up higher than variability. Let's see. Yeah, I worked out for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Worked out for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I burned 2,000 calories. Let's see, what was the one on my heart though? Oh, right here. Okay, so the highest my heart got up to, I got my heart up to 198. Never over 200. Never over 200 today. Now, I didn't play well according to my standards. I didn't play well. I got pickled again, which pickles means that you don't score a point. Lady I lost with the other day is funny. We had beat this team before. She said last time we faced them, we beat them. So, well, we wasn't able to beat them when we played them again. But we played the couple. And every time they wouldn't hit it to me, they would hit it to her. And that's what happens is when you have a weak partner, because every time they would hit it to her, she would pop it up in the air and anybody can slam it. So that's what she did. So today, let me see, I've been pickled 4 times this year. I've pickled 6 people, or six times. So I'm 6-4 in the pickling. So not bad. I really can't tell how many games I played because the first game was like 18 minutes long. The first game was something like 14-12. And so that game was so long. So I think I only won 4 games and I lost 7 or 8. But again, I played and didn't play bad. I can't really say I played bad. It's funny how people be cheating and shit. Oh, I didn't bring my thing in here. People be cheating and shit, and I don't know. I find that interesting. Because I saw a dude I know a dude cheated me because he hit the line and he said it was out. It wasn't out. It was clearly in. But I was watching one dude and he called out and it was clearly in. And I said it was in, so they gave it to him. Next time he hit the line again, he called it out. And it clearly hit the line. So I was like, mugs be cheating. Like, that's how it is, though. But I felt good. Walked up out of there. I was soaking wet. And I didn't go swimming yesterday, which I thought we were going swimming. But I think before I came on here, I said that we wasn't going. But we are going swimming tonight. It's my brother-in-law's birthday is the 29th. My oldest is going to turn 34. I'm going to have a 34-year-old mug on the 27th. His birthday is the 27th, so my oldest is about to be 27. He's an old mug. So I look forward to, I'm probably not gonna see him because he's gonna have school and stuff. But I look forward to at least calling him and celebrating, his maturity and his life and his success, as I do all my children's. And I've got the big bong, so if you like to hit a big bong, hit a big bong. uh, water makes it. You need to put ice in there. All right, got that out the way. So had 2 good days of working out, and actually I only didn't play pickleball on Wednesday. So El Dragon, Amaroon Khan, what's happening? And I know you definitely got to have
vision.
Nicole B, thank you for joining me. And you definitely got to have
vision.
Read my soul, my main man in $1 million grand. And I know you definitely got to have. Woo! Not that one.
Got to have vision.
Read my soul. I broke out the LeBron James, their new buck. And they, now again, you wear shoes the first time, it takes you. But I walked all 2 hours in the LeBrons at the Mall of America. And I'll tell you, for a suede shoe, it like a lot of times shoes will really break at the toe. This one just, the way it fits you so well, because that's what I was, I could have probably, I don't know. I'm kind of glad I didn't go 14s with those. I don't, because I've heard people say they would go smaller. I disagree. I don't think because I can wear 14s, but I don't think that in 14s I could wear. So I'm glad, like, the 13 was cool. I'm glad I bought the mugs, because when I went back out to the outlet, they didn't have any more. And those was full price at the outlet. But I like the new buck. Yeah, because I wear these little inserts too. Not I have custom made inserts, but I found these little, and I should have brought them up here. I've showed them before, but they're like little pillows that you can put over your socks and cushion the shoe a little bit. So yeah, I was really impressed with the way the shoe handled. Again, proudly walk for a new pair of shoes, because that's how you get plantar fasciitis from new shoes. But it broke in nicely. I don't know if I would like the new buck to play pickleball in, but again, those shoes aren't going to see pickleball this year, maybe next year, but not this year. Today I played with the Viper Next, and they didn't feel as flat today. It's interesting. So Tuesday, playing with the Monday, Tuesday, I played with the Jordan 37s, and then the little bit I played yesterday, I only played 3 games. With the Viper Next, they felt really flat. Today, they didn't feel like that. They felt perfect today. So as again, my feet getting accustomed, because the Jordan 37s have a lot more cushioning. But I think they're just as reactive. It's just my foot, getting used to wearing them. And today they was fine. So, because pickleball courts, for those of you who play tennis, pickleball will tear up shoes. Like all my Donovan Mitchell Adidas, which suck. They do suck, but that's what I started playing pickleball with. All of them are like, you look on the top of the shoe is perfect. You look under the shoe, it's so. But yeah, so the shoes matter. And it's interesting what people wear. Asics, a lot of people wear Asics. You see New Balance. So I say a guy came out there the other day, wore Jason Tatum's, which I was quite surprised, but there's so many different varieties of shoes. And where nobody played yesterday, like I could have kept playing another hour easy. It's so many people was there today. And it was like, it was dominated by good players. The word is getting out that good players was there, because we have 8 courts, and usually we give 7 courts to beginning players and 3 courts for the more advanced players. It was more advanced players today. So today we actually took 4 courts over. At one point we had taken 5 because there wasn't anybody there. So we played a game, and I forgot about when we first went. My second game I think we played on the beginners court. So got a good workout in. I broke my LeBron's in today. Oh, you broke yours in today. Yeah, I liked them. I like them. I mean, it is collectible, but I do function with the shoes too. You know, I do function with them. Hey, Marco Brolo. Ha, Marco Brolo. I like that. And I know you definitely got to have
vision.
Now, my first story today, you know, sometimes they say money. Sometimes they try to say that money doesn't make a difference, but it does. Money makes a difference. And if you don't think, let me see, if you don't think vehicles are all made the same, yeah, vehicles are not all made the same. And this is a prime example. Sometime when you buy a car, like I never got, like when Princess Diana got killed, at that time, that was one of the safest cars out there. I know for a fact that car was bulletproof, extra enforced. I mean, it would have taken like almost a tank to break that S500 down that she died in. So the story that motorcycles chasing her and shit that made, nah, them cars is made for crashes. They had shitty engines, but they was made for crashes. Here's an example of, well, I'll let them tell it. I will let them tell it. Here we go.
Accident in the Indian state of Haryana's Nu has resulted in the loss of 2 lives after a Rolls-Royce Phantom, an opulent limousine, collided with a petrol tanker on the Delhi-Mumbai expressway.
Okay, I don't know if you guys quite understood him. He said a Rolls-Royce Phantom collided with a tractor trailer carrying gas. So I'm gonna let him tell it.
According to the police officials, the driver of the oil tanker and his helper were killed.
This is the Phantom, fully engulfed in fire. Look at this tractor trailer, fully engulfed tractor trailer. And guess who died? Just right now, do you think that people died in the Rolls Royce, or do you think that people died in the truck? Just looking at this fire and looking at this shot, what do you think? Who do you think died? Who do you think died? Ah, there we go. Who do you think survived? The people in the Rolls or the people here? No, they're not all the same. Working for the big 3 can confirm where you get police units. Oh yeah. I've driven shit. When they first came out with them new Tauruses, I was a cop. Like the Pursuit Tauruses of 89, 90, when they went to the round Tauruses. Yeah, we drove them, and yeah, they had the Pursuit engines. But yeah, so who do you think survived? I'll let them tell it.
Killed in the accident. The duo have been identified as Rampreet and Kuldeep. The Rampreet is unlikely to have known as to what even hit him. The truck that he was driving was completely juddered. It lurched and then flipped in the blink of an eye, killing him and his co-driver on the spot, while 3 occupants of the luxury Rolls-Royce are said to have been injured, even though their car is also said to be...
So the people in the Rolls lived. The people in the truck died. They lived. This car hit a damn tractor trailer. Whoops, lost it.
A horrific accident in the Indian state of Haryana's Nu has resulted in the loss of 2 lives.
Tore the engine out the car, and these people lived. Look at this. Look at the engine. This is the Phantom engine, I think. Yeah, this is the Phantom engine. Look at that. The engine is completely torn out of the Phantom. Matter of fact, this is what, the A pillar right here? It looks like the A pillar in front. See that? It ripped the A pillars out. Look at this. This is what holds the front end. You know, this is what holds the front of the car. It just ripped him out. But it killed the guys in the truck.
Killing him and his co-driver on the spot, while 3 occupants of the luxury Rolls-Royce are said to have been injured, even though their car is also said to be pretty badly mangled. They are at this moment being treated at a hospital in Gurgaon. The police has further added that the limousine that costs nearly about quite a big sum of money immediately caught.
This nigga didn't know how much they cost. He didn't know how much they cost. A Phantom cost about $500,000. That's about a $500,000. He's like, very much. He didn't know how much they cost, and they didn't give it to him. That's why he just said very much. The Phantom cost about $500,000, a new one. A Bentley is a little cheaper.
Caught fire after colliding with the tanker, but all occupants of the luxury car reportedly were rescued in the nick of time by the relatives who were closely following the car behind. Vion is now...
Wow. Something rotten in Denmark. That is a wow, though. But it's, you know, it's real sometimes. The cars are made and tested. So if they crash, we know. Right here. Oh, yeah, right here. This is my other story.
He says that doesn't.
All right, this is another story. I'll let them tell it. It's some funny shit. No, I guess it's not really funny, but it's kind of funny.
A live look this morning over at New York City. That's where we go for our next story. A man fleeing New York City police officers on a motorcycle died Wednesday after a sergeant hurled a plastic picnic cooler at his head from close range, causing a violent crash. That all according to authorities. And of course, we have our Fox 5 New York team standing by for us live with the very latest. I want to go out to Briella Tomasetti live this morning over in Brooklyn. Good morning, Briella. What are we learning?
Her name is Briella. Okay, Briella. How do they spell that? Eddie. Let's go. Oh, Briella.
Yeah, Giacomo, we're actually up in the Bronx. This was unfortunately a sticky situation that ended in complete tragedy. Eric Dupree was attempting to get away from police after a buy and bust operation gone wrong. Now, keep in mind he has 2 prior arrests, one for felony assault, another for drugs, but his family says that doesn't mean he deserved to die. Was barely able to hold back the tears as she explained the gaping hole her brother's sudden death has left in her family. It's my only brother, she told.
So like if there was a line on how people got killed, and they ask you, well, how did you get killed? Well, you know, I was trying to get away from the police on a motorcycle, and the police threw a cooler at me, and it knocked the shit out me, and knocked me off the bike, and that's how I died. So he would be by himself in that line of somebody hitting you on the cooler while you driving a motorcycle. But I had to add that. I had to add it, baby. I had to add it. All right, let's go.
Reporters in Spanish outside a makeshift memorial in the Bronx, now adorned with candles, flowers, and photos. Eric Dupree was killed after being knocked off his motorcycle by a police sergeant during a drug bust. According to the NYPD, Dupree was caught selling narcotics to an undercover cop on Aqueduct Avenue near West 190th Street in Kingsbridge Heights at around 5:30 Wednesday evening. The department didn't mention exactly what drugs he was accused of selling. Police sources say Dupree took off to avoid being apprehended until he was stopped in his tracks by Sergeant Eric Duran. Duran, who was standing on the sidewalk in plain clothes, allegedly tossed a plastic picnic cooler at Dupree's head, causing him to lose control of the bike, hit his tracks by Sergeant Eric Duran.
Right here. I think he's been hit already here. I think he's been hit already because all they really show you is him crashing.
Duran, who was standing on the sidewalk in plain clothes, allegedly by Sergeant Eric Duran. Duran, who was standing on the sidewalk in plain clothes, allegedly tossed a plastic picnic cooler at Dupree's head, causing him to lose control of the bike, hit a parked car, and fall to the ground. Video taken at the scene, which we've blurred because it's graphic, shows paramedics carrying his limp body onto a stretcher. He later died at the hospital.
No lo aceptamos.
We don't accept it. We can't believe that police who supposedly will protect us, take care of us, are the ones that kill us, said Dupree's older sister. Born and raised in the Bronx and part of a Puerto Rican family, he leaves behind a wife and 3 young children. Just hours after Dupree was pronounced dead, the NYPD posted a statement to social media reading, quote, New York City Police Department Sergeant Eric Duran was suspended from duty without pay following a fatal incident in the Bronx on Wednesday afternoon involving a man attempting to flee from the police on a motorcycle. The state attorney general's office is also investigating Dupree's death. The New York City Medical Examiner's Office is now working to determine the exact cause of death. According to the New York Post, an internal memo was actually sent out within the NYPD warning that this incident could spark an intense public reaction, even on arrest. Eric Dupree's family, wants that officer, that sergeant, to be formally charged and put behind bars. They want to see much more than him being suspended without pay. For now, we're live outside the 50.
I'm kind of like, what did the cop do wrong? I don't really think he did anything wrong. He acted quickly. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air with that one. That what did he really do wrong? He thought fast. Now, the problem he's going to have is his life wasn't in danger. And again, there ain't going to be many cases of case law to compare that to. It's not going to be a lot to compare that to. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Looks like this one shows it. Let's see if this one.
And NYPD.
This one, oh, she's cute. This one might show it. I didn't see a fire. Yeah, they don't show it any clearer. You can't really still see what happened. You still can't really see. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. But, I got a thing for news ladies. And she's kind of cute. Ooh, she's kind of cute. Fox 5 in New York. I like her. I think she's cute. So I thought I'd show her to y'all. Oh, I definitely think I'm swimming today. What time? Yeah, it's 87 degrees again, so it's hot. I doubt I'm going to play pickleball anymore. This is why I used to watch news when I was younger. Facts is better than fiction. That's a good point. That is a good point. What do we know? Who the hell did he kidnap? Damn, Snug is kidnapping mugs. What do we know? Is this the same thing? Well, I don't know. Let me check this out. See if this is worth showing. Teen found. Oh, that's horrible. I ain't going to share this one. Wow. Damn, that's all this is talking about is this. Yeah, this is the same thing. It's happened a couple days ago. Yeah, I'll pass on this one. Damn, it's sad. I'll pass on that. Here in the Twin Cities, all they're talking about is the fair. The fair is in full effect. They showed somebody performed. Wasn't quite sure who it was. But that's all they're talking about here is the freaking fair. The Butter Princess. Now this is a trend we're starting to see around the country. And yeah, I was looking for this because I first saw it in another state, but I didn't know it was here. Yeah, right here. What the hell did it just do? All right. Maybe check out your opinions about this.
Of school, 5 Anoka Hennepin schools learned the sheriff's office will not be providing school resource officers.
The sheriff made the decision after a new state law went into effect. Danny Spiewak explains what's happening. Danny?
Well, Randy and Julie, the new state law prevents school resource officers from using certain types of restraints against students, except for when there's a threat of death or serious injury. But law enforcement groups say the law is not clear enough, and now some agencies are starting to pull out of the schools.
For years, the Anoka County Sheriff's Office has provided school resource officers to part of the Anoka Hennepin District, the state's largest. But this year, the Sheriff's Office is removing 2 officers from coverage at Andover High School, Oakview Middle School, and 3 elementary schools.
It's not surprising.
Jeff Potts with the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association says agencies are struggling to interpret a new state law related to school resource officer restraint policies.
I think there's still a lot of uncertainty and ambiguity about the law.
In the education finance bill this session, DFL leaders included language banning school resource officers from placing kids face down in prone restraint, impairing their breathing, or putting pressure on the upper body. Attorney General Keith Ellison has clarified that the rules don't apply when officers confront a threat of death or serious injury.
I certainly think we should all agree that we should not kneel on the necks of students unless someone's life is at risk, and that is written into the law to be able to do that.
But the Chiefs Association says it's still not clear to them whether an officer could use certain restraints to stop lesser crimes.
As those situations can go from damage to property or disorderly conduct very quickly, almost instantaneously, to a threat of bodily harm or death. And the SROs are really kind of hamstrung in their ability to intervene.
In Anoka Hennepin, the sheriff's office says they'll still have deputies stationed near the 5 schools to respond to emergencies, just not inside.
I think there is definitely room for some compromise and a way to fix this. We'd love to have an opportunity and conversation to do that.
This was no compromise. This said fuck you. This was a kick. This was a buck back. This was a buck back at the system saying, okay, my men can't do this, then you can't have my men. That's interesting. That is an interesting interpretation of the law. But I mean, we see time and time again over aggressive people. But we see some crappy ass children too. We see some out of control children that think, and I mean, this is what's interesting. We see entitled children that are melanated and European. It ain't just one. But they are so entitled now like never before. What is this shirt doing here? They are so entitled like never before. And it's like they can't even be disciplined. They're so entitled. They don't even want to be disciplined. That's how entitled these children tend to be. That if you give them any kind of verbal or physical discipline to them, it's worth risking their life. We've heard and looked at cases where children would rather die. And we saw a case where a man arguing with a woman in a grocery store want to fight her. But what is it with younger people that there's nothing in them that says, okay, well, we can work this out. It's like they see red and that's it. And why is that? Why are we in a young society that's all they know is red? They just know that whatever it is, you become the enemy and I got to fight you hard as I can fight you with no interpretation, no thought of any outcome. No effect from my actions. And that's what we see a lot of. And that's a lot of what this point is. Now, I know this state, Minneapolis is under Fed control. And I bet St. Paul ain't far from it because they're probably even more corrupt. It's just they haven't had the big time cases. So, but yeah, I caught this. I blame GTA. Yeah, you know, that there's some truth in that. There really is some truth, but girls don't tend to play that. Girls tend not to play that. But men do. Yep, men do. Oh, yeah. Did I show this yesterday? No, I don't think I showed
Less
this.
than a month since a number of.
Yeah, I don't think I showed this. Yeah, they're at the fair, so no, I didn't show this. This is the way they're trying to fight carjacking. Carjacking has got so out of control here. This is how they're going to fight it. New laws have just passed.
And they've got to get creative and
they are passing new laws.
New laws have taken effect, and one of those new laws is used to charge carjackers with stiffer penalties.
As our Paul Bloom reports tonight, the new law could mean longer prison time for those convicted.
there's so many carjackings going on, and they've got to get creative and aggressive with different ways to try to deter the carjacking.
Criminal defense attorney Ryan Pasiga has represented defendants charged in federal court with carjacking-related offenses, but now it is a new tool for prosecutors to use at the state level. An explosion in violent and sometimes dangerous carjackings across the metro in recent years, prompting the legislature to specifically identify carjacking as its own crime in Minnesota. Prior to August 1st, it was often charged as aggravated robbery. But now a first-degree carjacking conviction comes with enhanced prison time, equivalent to third-degree murder and first-degree assault. The presumed sentence for someone with no prior criminal history, more than 7 years in prison, and going up from there depending on the defendant's prior record. The same conviction for aggravated robbery, 4 years.
Some would say that it's a little harsh.
So far, it appears 2 county prosecutors have used the new carjacking statute in its first few weeks as law. Hector Garcia-Sainz, charged with attempted first-degree carjacking in Dakota County for trying to take a victim's vehicle in West St. Paul. And just a couple days ago, a suspect charged with a slew of crimes, including aiding and abetting first-degree carjacking for an alleged robbery setup that turned into a shootout here on the streets of St. Paul. The victim's Chevrolet HHR taken amid the chaos and gunfire.
It's more severe to take a car where that's someone's primary mode of transportation, either to getting kids to and from places or jobs or what have you. And so that's a more severe crime than an armed robbery, an aggravated robbery, if you will, where you're taking somebody's wallet or other private property of theirs.
Critics argue threatening or forcefully taking a victim's motor vehicle has always been a crime, and the legal system should not differentiate and punish more severely, whether it's a car versus anything else. As for these 2 current carjacking cases, it will now take both some time to work through the courts to determine what kind of difference the new statute has.
So this is going to be interesting. And I ain't saying this is necessarily aimed at people, melanated people, because they just showed, well, they showed like a dude looked like he's Puerto Rican or something. But we've seen the Hmong gangs still in the Hyundais. I mean, it's so bad here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, here in the Twin Cities, that a lot of car companies stop insuring Hyundais. A lot of car companies stop insuring them. So this is just, it was like so out of control that they had to do something. But it reminds me, you know, the war on drugs, we got to do something. Task Force on Aging. Here we go. There's some nasty shit.
We know.
Here's some nasty shit. But like, you know, our fair is known for nasty stuff. And you know how, well, I'll let them tell it.
For food editors who try just about all the new foods and drinks, and they let you know if they're worth eating it or not.
And that's the job for one Stephanie March from Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. Cody wanted to see what this was all about. Of course he did. So he caught up with her yesterday as her and her crew tried more than 60 beers and 40 foods in just one day.
Oh, I like Cody. He drank 60 beers. God damn.
I don't think we've ever actually seen Stephanie March try everything, and I don't.
Cody drinking them 60 beers said,
It's going down like this, motherfucker.
60 beers.
Like the new foods?
Woo.
I don't believe she actually does it. So we're going to do some investigative reporting and go try some stuff with her and see how it's done. Follow along.
got some bullshit music. Don't want to hear it. All right.
Be very quiet. Stephanie March in her native habitat.
The camera eats. Yeah, we are.
Marching your native habitat. What's she gonna eat?
And also, if you have your spork ready to be able to use it.
Those are cheese curds. Like right there. This is Minneapolis. Or these might be, I forgot. They're doing new ones. These are cheesecake curds. So these, instead of cheese, are cheesecake, fried cheesecake curds.
Your spork ready to be able to use that for this one for sure.
Hold on.
Get down.
This is a spork.
This is a reusable spork so that we don't fill up all the garbage cans. Mine is branded with my name. Right?
Did you brand it or did someone else?
I did. I brought that.
Okay.
That's me. Because, like, literally after years of doing this and seeing how many forks go into, like, the garbage cans, you just kind of think a little bit better about that.
Okay, that's nasty, but okay.
No.
Put it
Tell
down.
us, what is it? What is it? Tell us what it is.
Curds. I love it. This is kind of a new breakfast thing from Lulu's.
Oh.
What do you think?
Cheesecake curds.
Pretty good.
Hey, but you can't have more than one bite because you have a lot more to eat today.
How do you do that?
You just do it, and then you think about it, and then you have like a feeling, and then you sort of like, does this work as a fair food?
Poison.
And
All
then you
these
have to think
sweets.
about,
Poison.
kind of like, is it portable?
Is that fork in use?
That's fine.
Good.
Sometimes you have to
that
go
don't
from
even look
sweet
good.
to savory to sweet to savory.
Oh, dear goodness, that's good.
That's a Betty and Earl's biscuit. Like, you can't just do this by yourself, by the way. You need like an entire team
Hi, team.
who needs to sit and also try things.
Ooh, barbecue. Ooh, barbecue. Let's eat it. I've been in there before.
All the ribs.
I've been in here before. Ooh, ribs.
Oh, God, yeah, that's real good.
Ooh, it looks soft and tender. I don't eat a lot of pork.
Oh,
They look good. Their ribs look good.
moving on. We got to leave you here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You're not in for the whole crawl?
I wish.
Gut space.
So that's what they do. That's what you got to do out of our state fair. So if you plan to come anytime soon, it's there for you. I played pickleball with a dude, said he spent 12 hours there. Shit. Like, they get a thing of cookies. This thing, it's about that big a tub. And that mug, it'd be like a mountain of cookies. But yeah, that's what they do out there. You want to see this? I know you want to see this.
Great job.
I have to show all kind of sports and athletic achievements. Let me see. Yeah, I got to show y'all this one. We up here with them Scandinavians.
Lumberjacking that goes on.
Lumberjacking, yes, it's a thing. That's where the Timberworks Lumberjack show is taking place. There is a show where you can see real live lumberjacks and Jills in action. And we have a couple of lumberjacks with us today. And joining us,
Sam.
Lumberjacks on the motherfuckers.
You know, it's hot. Let's talk about what people can see when they're, looking at, obviously, people who are in shape that know their way around a saw.
Yeah, you got it. We brought one of the disciplines down here.
Yep.
It's the Jack and Jill sawing. These guys, you guys want to demo that for us here, and I'll kind of talk through it. We've got Jack and Jill sawing, axe throwing, log rolling, boom running, speed climbing,
No
springboard
safety glasses
chopping.
and all that sawdust, no safety
40
glasses.
minute show going on 4 times a day over in the Northwoods. And these guys are doing a great job of demonstrating.
Wow.
That's how it was done before chainsaws.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Everyone's got one of these hanging at their cabin or their house, but we're doing it the old-fashioned way.
I don't have one of them hanging in my goddamn house.
So tell me about that. How do you get started with that? And then obviously,
where do you find the lumberjack?
Lots of practice.
Yeah.
I grew up in Hayward, and
I want to know, where do you go find, first of all, where do you find these ugly ass shirts? That's a Tommy shirt, so I guess lumberjack Tommy shirts, maybe that's a Tommy shirt. I don't know where. And like, that's the brand, the chainsaw company. They wearing the chainsaw company's suspenders, but man, they're pimping. Like, if I won clothes, I wouldn't wear this shit. Like, if they came to me and sponsored, they're like, well, this is the outfit. I wouldn't wear this shit here. This shit here is ridiculous looking. But I guess it's the lumberjack with the hat to match. But let's go. Let's go.
Hayward hosts the Lumberjack World Championships. So I grew up around it. Sarah's actually my little sister, so we'll be competing against each other for a little family rivalry.
Oh, I like that.
We've been rolling for over 20 years, so we like to think we put on a pretty good show down there. But
that's
again,
fantastic.
log rolling historical. It's how those river piggers used to get those logs down the rivers, and it kind of all comes from our nation's history. So
that's right.
A little bit of history tied in.
And so,
Yeah, the Indians never was log rolling. It was you Europeans greedy, knocking all the trees down, that started this kind of stuff. But okay.
how long did it take for instance, lumberjacking to learn the skill of that and also log rolling? I mean, you grew up around it, but I mean, how long typically does it take to develop that skill?
Well, when you start when you're younger, it's easier, right? Your center of gravity's lower. Your brain isn't telling you that this is ridiculous, right? It's not telling you to jump up. As you get older, we like to say log rolling takes like a good year of just practicing to even be able to do it well at like a competitive level. Something like the axe throwing is a little bit easier to learn. The crosscut sawing you can teach a little quicker. Log rolling's a little bit trickier though.
Now, I told you before, the thing I got to make a video of throwing axes. And my movie theater where you throw axes, the bartender there, he is like the top 100 in the whole world of axe throwing. He's a bad brother. And so for my bachelor party, what we're doing is all my axes, I'm going to put them like I'm going to bring tacks and in the wood, I'm going to put them all their pictures up, or just the ones I don't like, not all of them. I'll say that. I don't want to throw axes at all of them, but a couple of them I'm going to put up with axes, put up with pictures, and I'm going to throw hatchets at it. I'm going to show a video of me throwing hatchets, and all my friends are going to do the same thing. If somebody they don't like, they're going to put pictures, and then we're going to, I want to see them roll on a log. There's lame, and don't see them chopping wood. That shit's boring. That's all you can do is chop wood. They're not in the water, so they're not going to be rolling. But that's what you can see here in Minnesota. It's places I guess you can go and see that shit. Elk River man visiting every major league stadium. Wow.
The fair is,
I don't think I'm going to visit every major league stadium. I'm only going to visit a couple. I don't see the point of visiting them all. But I guess some niggas ain't got nothing to do. I got shit to do. So all our news is all this week on of course, the fair. The fair is the biggest thing. But I'm going swimming today. I'm probably go to fair Saturday, and it's going to be Saturday. It'll probably be 100,000 people at the fair, at least. Yeah, it'll be. It's pretty big complex. Pretty big complex. And it'll probably be at least 100,000 people out there. So I'm probably going Saturday. It's going to be a little cooler. We're definitely not going today. They say ride your bike to the state fair. Check this shit out. I ain't going to show. Oh yeah, I am going to show the story because they got her on here. I like her. Oh, she looks so good. They got her off the desk. We got to show her. Look at her. Oh, she always looks good. This is my favorite. But this is supposed to be a modern day astronaut. This is Amy Klobuchar, if you didn't know. This is our Senator Klobuchar. This is the astronaut. Who cares about the astronaut? Really, you really think you going to Mars or you going somewhere? Really? But let's look at her. She looking good. I like her.
And of course, when Senator Amy Klobuchar comes, she brings somebody else in the room too. Today, she brought a NASA astronaut with her, and we are so excited to meet him. He's local as well.
She got her hand on her hip. I guess she's excited, but you got to play the part.
Good to see you. Tell us about home for you. Where are you from?
So I grew up in White Bear Lake, and it's good to be home. I've been away from home for a good amount. I was in space and low Earth orbit on the.
He was in space, but he said he was in low orbit. Okay, so he went up in one of them planes. So this cat went up in one of them planes where, the plane, they do the gravity thing. That's in a plane. This nigga just said he was in space, but then he caught him, but then he changed and said in orbit. That's not really space, bruh.
International Space Station for about 5.
He was in the International Space Station. I'm wrong. I'm talking shit. Okay. I guess he was out in the International
Half
Space
months.
Station.
We got back in the middle of March.
Oh my goodness, what a trek for you. Well, thank you for being with us and spending a little time on Earth with us today here too. Before we get into your journey, Senator, we've had some serious news here in our newscast. Earlier in this newscast, we did report on the former president, his arrest in Georgia. How do you think these charges?
Oh, wow. Okay. This is a Democrat station. Okay. It's a Democrat station. Yeah, got paid a lot to act like he in space. Absolutely. 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 There's no space like they try to show you Star Wars and all that shit. It doesn't happen that way. Like if you read how is it put? How is it put? Like it was, I'm trying to think when they, you talk about Nuperu, Enil, and Iniki, but it was like, I came across some information. How did they put it? They put it like they were low individuals because they needed ships and shit. The story of really Marduk, a story of him, Pinay's work. What's his first name? But anyway, they talk about they were some of the lowest beings because they needed ships, and they talked about Marduk had to hide in asteroids. They would sneak up on people, and people would think it was asteroids coming at them. But it was like they was looked at as lower beings because they needed crafts to move through whatever it is. And so I can't remember where I got that, but it was like that's what the point of it was. It was like Enil and Iniki couldn't be supreme because they still needed ships to move around. Almost like Q. The Q in Star Trek Next Generation. He didn't need anything to create. Matter of fact, he could create his own world without they wouldn't be holograms. But it was interesting, he could step into the holograms too. So yeah, there's no space, and I don't give a damn about Trump. I ain't fooled by all that shit. Oh, what is this? Say he was offered a bribe. Say he was offered a bribe for what? Subject of Project Versatis. Voter fraud. Okay, it seems stupid. It seems stupid. It seems very stupid. Oh, okay. This is some bullshit. Listen to this shit. Here's another on the same thing right here. Watch this. I came across this stupid shit too. This was some stupid shit from earlier. All right.
Listen to this. NASA is inviting organizations to apply for their own moon tree. Thing is, they're just like regular trees, but moon trees are grown from seeds that flew around Earth's natural satellite. Oh, nearly 2,000 seeds were on Artemis mission from 2020 to 2022. That includes sycamore, sweet gum, sequoia, and pine trees. The Forest Service has germinated them into seedlings that are ready to be planted. Only organizations like schools, museums, science centers, and community groups can apply for one, and you've got until October 6th if you'd like to do so.
Like, who believes that? I mean, how much you think you got to pay for them damn trees? That shit is going to be astronomical in price. Well, these trees are up in space, so what would be the price for space trees? Like, you really think I want to waste my time thinking about Trump and what the fuck his the part he's playing? They all just play parts. And people get food and put emotion in these actors. That's the thing that even gets me about sports. People put emotion into these actors. Like they know these people. Like they really know these people. I mean, dude, look at why they pay them so much. They pay them so much to act. They pay them so much to play a part. Good or bad. Good or bad. And you see this continue in all forms of life. We just saw an astronaut and a chick at the fair, and all of a sudden they had to turn it to, the propaganda had to kick in. Well, what do you think, Amy? What do you think about it? Since she's a senator, again, it's agenda. So I don't try to get into agenda. But that's what you're seeing. You're seeing some agenda. So that's what the rational mind has to do, is have to understand. And it's like so many cats get caught into, I don't like not really even understanding. Like they get into these other cats and don't see the falsity in cats. And to me, that amazes me. Now, because it's like, if you see that fault, and it should make you pause. Like, you see people and they give you a reason to pause, that's what it should be. The way you take the information in, if there's one thing they said that makes you pause, and you be like, hey, and not saying they can't say anything else that might be okay, but you still in the back, somewhere on the shelf should be like, well, this motherfucker said this stuff. So I might have to pause on some of the stuff he says. And that's what people have trouble with. People never pause. People just bring the information in and get sucked into it, emotionalism. I mean, I would just be playing with people about Biden, because it just didn't seem like a good character to put in. It had nothing to do with, I mean, this was like, I could still get in it with my girl because she's a Democrat. It's like, here's a dude that was obviously a Dixiecrat. He's a Dixiecrat. He's the last of the filibuster people. He was the guy who, mysteriously, his wife and daughter got killed. To further his career, it appeared. It seemed like that was the payment, because he was not rich when he went into the White House. And then, like his son, it wasn't enough for his son to go into the military. They had to knock another one off. So you see, he's getting paid for making the ultimate price. And just like they going after his son was the same way they went after Trump's sons and daughters. I mean, it's the same. It's like they ain't even really changing the script. They just changing people. They just flip-flop it around. And people get caught into this emotionalism of it. Yeah. But it's we're under this Saturn energy, Friday, Saturday, the energy hit last night. And so I hope you aren't under the control of the Saturn energy, and yeah, it shouldn't. So you're not affected by it, because they turn it up. And it's funny where people, like, when you go into clubs, the Saturn energy is not positive. I mean, now, shoot, almost young people's music is murder, death, kill music. Murder, death, kill music, cheat people. You call this having a good time. It's like they've twisted what even a good time is. Like, I was showing the dancing, where, dancing is supposed to be, I mean, really, dancing is something that you really should be lost in. You can get lost in dancing. Right here. Okay. And too often we don't see people getting lost in the dance. Oh, okay. And that's what it is people getting lost into the dance. And that's how so if you're going to get lost in something, you want it to be as positive as possible. If you're going to give yourself into this type of movement, you want to get into this type of state of mind. And so the club is the last place, because it's feeding off you. It's definitely feeding off you. And so you want a type of movement that has you moving and grooving. Like when it started, it was like a Now watch when it hits them. Watch when it hits them. You can just see some of them when the music hits them. Look at them. Some of them starting to swing. You see this? Already, you can see them as they walking up. You can see when the music hits them. And so this is the type of environment you want to be in to move these energies. Man, some of these cats here, some of these cats was moving when they was like doing the slice. Man, they was like, it seemed like I was seeing them open up portholes. Like they would do a slice dance and it seemed like they was opening up portholes. It's like, damn, do they even see what they're doing? And so this is the kind of stuff you want to be at if you want to dance. You don't want to hear no murder, death, kill. You want to hear So this is what you want to be around when you release it, or you want to be at home. They said one thing that fights that the forget me beast. What do I call it? The forget me not, forget me disease. The one thing that they say, one of the things they say that fights the forget me disease is dancing. That you should dance every day. And I mean, have you guys ever been to where the music is a higher vibration, fast like disco music, and the people are lost in the dance? I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch. I used to get in dance contests back in Michigan. We, the roller skate, and after we roller skate, they'd have a big party. Everybody, put their shoes back on and go back out and we dance. And just watching people get lost in the movements, to me, was always a beautiful thing. I still, when I see just people naturally have it, and the moves, of course, it should change, but it's funny, the moves have changed, but yet they're still the same. Because you still see elements of a lot of older dances. I mean, do you know how old the line dances are? That was called the bus stop. What they called later the hustle was called the bus stop. I think that was a mid-50s dance. It's almost 70 years people been line dancing. 70 years. This has been a type of dance, the bus stop. Well, I guess you could even go a type of cakewalk. I guess the cakewalk maybe is kind of a type of it too. Remember you cakewalk until you land, if you land on the cake and shit, you get the cake. But you kind of dance between the cakewalk, if you remember, or ever look that up. So dancing is not for a place that wants to feed off you. Clubs feed off you. They feed off that Saturn energy that you give off while you're in the club. And that's just how it works. You can wear all the protection you want to go up in there, but still, that's what it's for. You are feeding it. And why do you think it wants all this murder, death, kill? It wants your subconscious to always have murder, death, kill. Why do you think they make it so? And the video games. The video games definitely. Now I don't know if we've ever saw a serial killer say that the video game is what made him go off, but I'll say this: a Manchurian Candidate definitely could be used by video games. It looks like the first boys from Columbine that they were definitely under some type of video game hypnotics. Because the video games are you give yourself to it too. I mean, it's supreme concentration back and forth, but it'd be easier. Video games was probably easier than do it at TV, because they've been able to do TV that, again, if you've had any kind of, they snatched you and you didn't know it, and then they programmed you something and just then took you back home, and you didn't know if you watched a certain show, the show would make you respond. So they've been doing that, but I wouldn't put it past the video games now, even being able to program people to do certain things, because they can isolate on any individual on any system they want to. They can break into any system, and you think you playing a video game, and they done put something in there that could hypnotize you, and that's how narrow they can do it. And mind control. When they profile people, they know the people that would be open to it. Like when we give up our behavior surplus, they know things to make you spend money and stuff. That's their job now. That's the number one thing. There's our value is our behavior surplus and our creativity. Because anytime a machine says, you know, what is your dream, and can you help? I can help you design your dream. Why would you want to feed that? Said before, why would you want to give it your imagination? Because you want to see your imagination in pictures? Wow, hey, I thought about that, and it really looks good if I was a pharaoh. It really looked good if I looked like a cartoon. That's kind of how it is today. I don't fucking look like no cartoon. I won't even dye my beard, so why would I want to look like a cartoon? But if I do dye my beard, it'd be brown, because my hair used to be brown. So many mugs, they get old and they dye their stuff, it'd be jet black. Like, oh, your hair was jet black? Well, no, but color's the best. I don't know. I like being older in some ways. I mean, a lot of patience. You know, I was in motherfuckers' faces when I was younger. I did not care. But as you get older, you care and you have a little more patience. Like my children to say, you know, I used to snap on them when I was young, vibrant. But that's what those children needed. When I got older, I saw what these children needed. And I invented one move that this is a great move for parents. It's called to choke yourself. I've talked about this many times. I should patent it. But the child does something so stupid, you make the child just, you put your hand there and they literally choke their own self. You don't have to put any pressure. You just make them put in the pressure of your hand. Oh, Lorenzo, what's happening? Thank you for joining. And I hope you're feeling better.
Got to have vision.
So I hope you're feeling better, brother. I hope you're feeling better. Because I know you said you was down in the weather a little bit, so still healing energies, because there, you know, nothing goes away in a day, and however long, or if you feel better today, that's outstanding. That is outstanding. Man, one of my pickleball shots that's so cool is they serve to me. It's funny now. I almost return everything with my left hand. It's like it's easier because it's a forehand shot. But like sometimes I can return that left hand so quick they don't even have time to react. It's so quick off my paddle, and if I go between the two of them, so but yeah, tonight, how long have I been going? Damn, I've been over an hour already. Okay, I've been having fun. I've been having fun. Let's look for. Yeah, let's look up. Let's see. Wow. Huh. I want to look up something. See how if I can find it. Might have to look it up when I'm off. But I don't know. I'm about to put together, and I'm putting something else together. Because their debate about the best point guards, I got something better than that. The debate of the best point guards. I think I got something better, and I want to show that. Oh, I don't know. That won't show. Too bad it won't show. But yeah, that's kind of, and I think we're going to the fair this weekend or Saturday tonight, swimming. Matter of fact, I'm watching the fight tomorrow. I'm going back out there tomorrow. I better text my daughter, see if she want to swim. Just found out we're going back out to Benihana's. That's Mall of America, which is, you know, one of my favorite places. Yeah, I bought them $14 501s, and I'd walk for 2 hours. I just stayed out. I had a good Philly cheesesteak out there. See if my daughter want to swim. I know my great nephew, he want to swim. They said if we change our mind and don't go swimming, they said he'd get mad and shit. He'd be pouting and shit at the crib. Like, well, they said they were going to go swimming, and why would they say that if they're not swimming? Well, your auntie got sleepy. Okay. Your auntie got sleepy. And we didn't make it, baby. That's all. But we'll go today. We will go today, and yeah, it's good, soak my muscles. That's the best thing about swimming is you get to soak your muscles. I have to look for it some other time. That's all right. Young Judah, thank you for joining.
Got to have vision.
Let's see. Let's see that I'm reading it right. Ooh, that's all right. What does it say? No, I'm not headed to New Jersey. No. Oh, who's headed to New Jersey? Not me. Yeah. So I used to love down. Okay, I'm behind on these until the new era. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's catchy. Hip being the same thing over and over again repetitively. They know we respond to that. And Who Cloned Tyrone is a perfect example of how we like Prince said, in the statement that he would see the chemtrails and wonder why the people was fighting, but also the other way is the music too. Friday is pressure on you. If you can't pay bills, and then you had the dudes that, and this is the funny part, you had the dudes that want to fight because that's the only way they would get attention. And some women like niggas that even if they got beat up every weekend, they like them niggas that fight. Some women like that. They'd be surprised when they beat their ass, but they like that they out there fighting. Oh, he's fighting for my honor and stuff. So it's all kind of negativities. Dudes with, like it's no harmony in going out sometimes. Because dudes saw it as a way of getting attention to fight. And then this attention goes into, like I saw a dude, and this dude ended up getting shot in the crotch. Because I think he cheated on the dude's girl. The dude shot him in the crotch. But the guy who got shot, like I remember one time it was a new club. He ripped off the paper towel, like the big paper towel thing. He tied it behind his car and he started driving up and down the street in front of the club with this thing hanging. And so you see why somebody dumb as him would get killed. He was just that kind of guy. I got the question by both of them because they made no mention of Isaiah Thomas. Oh yeah. Best point guard debate, Stephen A. Smith, but Michael Jordan said Magic. I agree too. As I said before, Steph Curry's turnovers is what's the biggest thing. He's not a playmaker. You want a point guard that is a playmaker. Magic put passing back in basketball. Even more so than Larry Bird, because technically Magic had more success than Larry Bird. 5 championships to 3. I think, the 2 to 3. Yeah. But Magic's influence on passing, like even James Worthy. I don't know if y'all I got to see Jay because James Worthy's my age. So when I was a freshman at A&T, James Worthy was down at Carolina the year before Michael Jordan came, and James Worthy was playing like Magic. James Worthy was bringing it down, setting everybody up. Like he'd get the rebound, he'd take off at 6'8". He'd take off down court. That year before Michael Jordan came, that was James Worthy's game. You could see Magic's influence, where everybody enjoyed again the good pass. Because right after the merger, I've said this before, and people can, they may say that was the cocaine era in basketball, but it was one of the most efficient times ever in basketball. You didn't really need plays because whoever got the ball pretty much scored. Look at the 70s game and watch how efficient the dudes are. And of course, there's no 3 plays, so most dudes is mid-range, but you got dudes who pulled up deep. But it was efficient type of basketball. Yes, it was very individualized, but it was like whoever got the ball was going to score. Look at the scores. Look, I'm talking about 74, 75, 76 before Magic and Larry Bird. 75 until Magic and Larry Bird come in at 79. And the merger was in 77. Very efficient basketball. But again, very, very isolated basketball. Was no team, no movement. And Magic brought that back. And Magic made people better. I mean, finally Kareem had somebody to give it to him consistently where he wanted it. And as I said, just whereas James Worthy in high school played Magic's role, James Worthy was being able to be the wing. Because in college he facilitated that, and when he got with Magic, he could go on the floor and run with Magic. So could Michael Cooper. And so there's no comparing. Now you saying Steph coming down and shooting from half court. How does that make him a great point guard? I mean, that first year he got MVP, that was their script. Blow teams out early because we don't want close games. Remember how they was up by 30 in the first quarter and the game was over in the first couple? Remember that script of 14 or 15, Steph, first MVP? That was the script. Blow team out by 25. That is like they did not want any close games with him. And then he's not a true point guard. He's a shooting guard. He's really a 2. Because he has a lot of turnovers. And you can't really say that Magic, the plus minus. So I'm glad you mentioned that because people complain about overly high scores and hero ball then, but it was the same back then. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't think Dr. J was isolating all people? Gerving. Watch Gerving in the ABA and watch him in the NBA. Very efficient. And Gerving played a 1 and a 2 and very efficient. I mean, you see his moves. 1, 2, I'm at the whole finger roller. Very efficient players. It just wasn't involving everybody. I mean, like when you watch Winning Time, notice what they say. Everybody wait for Kareem to come down, give it to Kareem. They wasn't winning like that. Remember, that's Winning Time. Wait for Kareem, throw it down to Kareem. Other teams could run up and down. So, and that's, the script they made when Magic beat the 76ers. That was the script. Run. People forget Magic may have had 42, but Jamal Wilkes had 35. Keith Wilkes, Jamal Wilkes, he had 35. Playing the way that Worthy played. He was running with Magic, getting that shot. His shot was like baseline. Jamal Wilkes, baseline all day. Killing people from the baseline. And so what he would do is he would run with Magic. Magic didn't get it on that side. He would cross on the other side. Magic would give him to him on the other side. Boom. Or he's running with Magic too, but he was killing. Now he's a perfect example of a baseline killer. You don't even see that type of game anymore. People that just want to shoot on the baseline. You don't see that. You don't see that game anymore. Baseline killers. Because again, if you on the baseline, you're going to be in the corner 3. You ain't really trying to move, but it was dudes that was strong off the baseline. So that's a part of basketball that don't exist anymore, which is sad. That's kind of sad because baseline players was sweet players to watch. They would just operate there. And you'd know they would try to get to the baseline. And it was dudes that would fall away, be in the baseline. Like deep corner baseline, be a 3, but then they even fall away. Because that's separation. That's what the fall away jump shot was, is separation. So where you be there, like you didn't have to take a step away from a dude. You faked him. You faked him in your move, you separated. So you separate and fall away. So I don't know. Jason Kidd was the last good true point guard. That's a good point. I still can't believe that Steph Curry and the Warriors were 44 and 15. Jason, Jason Kidd, like I told this story before. I'm coming back from the Mall of America. The trains had just got done. So we would catch the bus downtown and you could catch the train out to the Mall of America. And we spent the day out there, ate and came back. And coming back, we was on the bus about to go catch the bus to go home. And the dude walked up to me and said, "Man, take your family to the game." It was just the 4 of us. And we watched when Jason Kidd came back. And Jason Kidd, I was like saying how washed up he was. Man, Jason Kidd had a triple-double, and they beat the Timberwolves here. And that must have been like 7 or 8 back then. I forget when he got traded back to Dallas. But yeah, I'll tell you another cat that really had the ability to be a good point guard, but his ego was in the way, was Marbury. Marbury really had all the proper skills to be a true point guard. But just as Jason Kidd understood his spot and who he was and his strengths and weaknesses, Marbury really didn't understand his weaknesses. And he really didn't understand his weaknesses. His forcing shots, not a consistent good outside shooter. Jason Kidd worked on his outside shooting. I mean, it was a set shot. Remember, Jason Kidd got a set shot, but he learned, he let his game grow. Marbury, if he would have just been and I'll say Kenny Anderson got caught in the same thing, not just really understanding when you go to the NBA, you be a true point guard. They had the true point guard ability, like Nate Archibald totally got it. And he's the last cat to lead the league in scoring and assists. He got it. It was like, okay, I got to turn it on. I turn it on. But if I'm not turning it on, I'm turning it to somebody else. He was the last point guard that really got it and had both. He had the same skill that Marbury had in Kenny Anderson. Now, we look at a cat like Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith was always a slow cat. They called him the Jet, but open court, but just the way he made his moves, I don't know. He wasn't fluid, I never thought. He was a stiff cat. So they called him the Jet, yeah, in the open court, but just the way he made his moves wasn't really fluid, and that killed him being a true point guard. That's why most of his career was a 2. He really, I don't know. It's hard to describe his game. I watched him play so much. But Marbury really had it. To be a true 1, he had it. And ego, got to pass the ball. So, and that's why Steph Curry is not counted, because again, he doesn't handle a big load of dishing the ball. Magic did. Magic did. Magic was constantly, rebounding. People forget Magic was guarding 4s. Magic 6'9". So I won't say he was the last true point guard, but seeing him play live was a treat to me, and that's Chris Paul was with the Hornets in New Orleans. Okay. That's probably like what I was saying, that Chris Paul is an Isaiah discipline, or disciple. Chris Paul and Isaiah, very similar games. Very similar games. Isaiah went to the basket more than Chris Paul, but that's who I would like. If Chris Paul facilitated, he would facilitate before he would really score, and he would try. He just was never quick about it. He really wasn't really pushing. I didn't think he was naturally quick, but as a point guard, yeah, I put Chris Paul pretty high in there because he handled the ball a lot. He was, now here's a good one. Would you put Chris Paul over Steve Nash? Who would you put, Steve Nash or Chris Paul? And I would put Chris Paul over Steve Nash. Now, I would put Steve Nash in a true point guard. I would definitely give that to him. I mean, he was one of the first dudes to really go deep in the hole and bring it back out to set up the offense or reset it. That was his thing that he added to the game. He's really into going deep into the basket. And if it didn't work out, he would dribble it back out. He gave that to the game. And he had a true point guard mentality. I mean, far as a playmaker, I would put Nash over Steph as a playmaker. I mean, as a playmaker, Steph is low. As a playmaker, he is really low. That's why Green plays the point forward a lot. Because they had the 2 guards as both 2s. And so they used Green as the guard, the point forward. And they was running the offense through him. Whereas Nash and Paul, so I would put Nash a better. Now, of course, Steph is a better shooter, but he's not a better playmaker than Nash. And I put Chris Paul over Nash, just because his overall ability. I thought his skill set was overall better. I thought he had a better overall skill set than Nash. Just really wasn't much of a shooter at all. Like even wasn't much of a scorer. So. She's like, well, do you think you can be ready? I'm like, shit, I'm ready when I goddamn get ready. She's like, well, I'm coming down the hill now, or going up the, well, yeah, I guess we come down and then go up a hill to come home, but like, I'm here. I'm here. We leave when I'm ready to leave, and right now I'm partying, so I'm not quite ready. But I've been going for an hour and a half. So, to me, Nash and the Suns back in the 2000s was like the Lakers in the 80s, fast-paced, fast-break basketball. Especially before the big fella got hurt. Before he got hurt, yeah, Nash was the big fella. What's his name? He later went with the Knicks. Before he hurt his knee, Nash had something there because he had a guy that was going to be a good defender, but a guy that really. Again, Nash was drawing in everybody, and if he didn't like it and couldn't dish it, he would bring it back out, and then he would face the defense again. So he would attack him, and he'd be like, okay, if I come D baseline, I'm going to just keep the dribble, because a lot of cats want to pick it up. He would just keep the dribble, and he was like, okay, I'm going to just go through the lane, but then he would turn on that other wing to reset the offense. And then the big fella would be there, and he was dominant. You know, his first couple years, that big fella he had that hurt his knee, he was dominant. So that's what I loved about his game, because he would go in, but he wouldn't bring it all the way back out. He would stay like elbow down and re-attack from there. And so you got to give that kind of game, you know, that was his thing. And that's the part of the game he gave. And so you got to give him praise for that, because he would stay there and still put pressure on you. Because a lot of dudes would dribble all the way out and so everybody reset. He didn't. He would stay elbow in on the wing and still in attack mode. And so the defense never could react, because a lot of the defense see you go through, a lot of dudes come back out. Nash was great at staying there. And then Nash would like attack from there again. And so you just reacted on the other side, and you know, you moving and watching him, and then he's coming at you from this side with a new set. And the set was from the, you know, he was right on the wing inside the elbow. And so it was beautiful the way they would run that. And so he would hit that all day, or he would get like an easy layup, but he was dishing to everybody. And see, that was, he knew the strength of his game. And then they ran the offense like that. Because to run the offense, not have to fully reset, just go wing, and then everybody's just resetting, and he's like, oh, okay, Steve took it to right there. You automatically run to this spot. So that was, you know, that was outstanding basketball. I wasn't just hating on him. You know, he shouldn't have got any MVP. So I wasn't, you know, just hating on him, because that's what he did that was good. And people use it now. I mean, that was outstanding. So, do what I put Nash over Jason Kidd? Nah, because if anybody was Magic, was Jason Kidd. I mean, Jason Kidd was Magic. You know, another version of Magic. Just like Kobe was another version of Jordan. LeBron more Magic than Jordan. Jason Kidd was a smaller Magic. All what Magic did, Jason Kidd did the same way. So I wouldn't put Nash over Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd did innovate the way the point guard plays. So we give him that. Just as, you know, we look at like Iverson, a one. You know, he had the ball though, but he was really a one. That's why him and Snow played together. Snow really played point guard. Iverson could play two off him. But then they was running sets off Iverson because he had the ball so much. So they would run sets when he had the ball. But Snow, his brother was Percy. I can't think of that Snow. But that Snow from Michigan State, he played point. When he was with Philadelphia, he played point, not Iverson. So Iverson was a true two. It was just he had the ball dominant two. So, yeah, Stoudemire there, yeah. And yeah. Stoudemire, and then he had Sean Marion. And, you know, again, that reset on the, bring it through and then still attack. That's what's beautiful about his game, is you reset and you still attack, and you still in attack mode. And you got to love it. You know, you got to look at what he gave the game. And other people use that now, where you don't really have to fully set, because some people would fully reset. You didn't have to do that. So, well, I hear out there, looks like I'm going to be going to swimming. And you probably wish you were me, that you could have played pickleball this morning. You could have walked at the Mall of America yesterday. And I'm about to go float in the pool aimlessly. I'm about to just sit in the pool and be like this aimlessly, with no aim other than enjoying being in the pool. But that sun is up and I need to be in the water. So this is the chocolate. No, this is the Big Eagle Hour, because it's in the daytime. I should be on tomorrow night unless I'm too tired. I'm not playing pickleball unless people want to learn. My weekends is set up for people that want to learn. So maybe tomorrow night. Oh, college football starts tomorrow. I was hoping it starts tonight. College football starts tomorrow. There's 7 games on tomorrow. So those of you that love college football, it'll be on tomorrow. All right, y'all, gotta go. Till we meet again, definitely. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Till we meet again. And you know, the Beast doesn't like me being on during the day. Why, Beast? Why? Why do you care? Why do you care?